are two separate functions of the body, which is something not many people recognize. Sight is the ability to see, while vision is the ability to identify, interpret, and understand what you see. Most people are born with the capability of sight, while vision is learned and developed starting at birth and becoming finally developed around preschool age. 75 to 90% of all classroom learning is attained through the eyes, according to optometrist Marilyn Bryn Heineck, so vision acuity is critical. Visual skills are learned in steps, yet due to the modern times in which we live, where watching television and computer screens has overtaken activities dealing with peripheral vision and depth perception, some of these visual steps are skipped or never completed. There are 10 visual skills needed in order to have accurate vision, according to the Optometric Extension Program. These skills are tracking, the ability to follow an object in motion with both eyes. Fixation, the ability to use both eyes to view objects which are placed one after another. Focus change, looking from near to far or far to near without a momentary blur. Depth perception, judging relatively distant objects to see and move accurately. Peripheral vision, taking visual information from a large viewing area. Binocularity, the use of both eyes equally, smoothly, accurately, and simultaneously. Maintaining attention, the ability to perform a task without interfering with the function of other skills. Near vision acuity, the easy identification of objects within an arm's length. Distance acuity, the easy identification of objects at a farther distance. And visualization, the ability to form a mental image and retain it for a future recall. I have a younger brother, Lane, who is in the 4th grade and has had learning problems since kindergarten. My mother thought these problems could be due to poor eyesight, yet when taken to the local optometrist, he was said to have 20/20 vision. But my mother figured this could not be true due to his extreme reading trouble. So last winter, she did some research on the internet and found vision therapy. After looking into it further, she discovered Lane showed several of the signs of a vision problem. From there, she contacted and set up an appointment with Dr. Beth Bazine, a vision therapist in Kansas City. Within the first 5 minutes of the initial exam, she prescribed Lane glasses and then later went on to set up a 15-month period of weekly sessions. Lane completed the first portion of his sessions in late February and has shown amazing results in his schoolwork. D's have become B pluses and C's A's. Yet my brother is just one of many success stories. There are 3 keys to understanding vision problems and how to treat them. They are what vision therapy is, how vision is related to ADHD and other learning problems, and how to detect if there is a vision problem. To begin, what is vision therapy? The Vision Development Association states vision therapy as being the prevention of further vision and eye problems, the enhancement of skills needed to perform effectively, the enhancement of functioning on task, and the remedy or compensation for vision and eye problems which already exist. This is all accomplished through extensive exercises which have been developed to meet individual needs. These exercises usually last 15 to 20 minutes and must be practiced on a daily basis in order to retrain vision correctly and permanently. Athletes use vision therapy to improve hitting, catching, shooting, and passing skills in each respective sport. The possibilities for improvements through vision therapy in every aspect of life are seemingly endless. How vision is related to ADHD and other learning problems is also important. According to the American Psychiatric Association, the diagnosis of ADHD in both children and adults is on the rise. 3 to 5% of all school-age children have been diagnosed with ADHD, which is an alarmingly high percent. While stimulating medications are prescribed, in most cases, they hide the true causes behind the attention defects, which could be a poor development of visual skills. Vision therapy, in many of these cases, can help correct these problems and help children and adults alike become capable of sustained attention and less dependence on movement. These same results are likely when individuals with pervasive developmental disorders and even autism are treated with vision therapy. Finally, how to detect if there is a vision problem. There are several symptoms of a visual defect, and just 2 or more are sufficient to be considered severe. These symptoms are inclusive of, but are not limited to, holding reading material only 7 to 8 inches from the eyes, opting only to read shorter pieces, having a short reading attention span, using a finger to trace lines, complaining of frequent headaches or blurred or double vision, homework taking an extremely long amount of time to complete. If, when reading to themselves, they have trouble recalling hardly anything, yet if the piece was read aloud, they can remember almost everything, and if reading-based subjects are difficult, while subjects like math and science are easily learned, then the optometric extension program suggests finding the nearest vision therapist and setting up an appointment. The sooner the affected individual is treated, the sooner they can begin living a better life. Conclusively, visual defects are a problem which affect the learning and even daily lives of the affected individual. Yet vision is hardly ever looked at as a cause for such problems. As vision therapy works its way into the mainstream, hopefully there will be more success stories, like my brother Lane's, that will show the world the difference between sight and vision.
The princess kissed the frog, he turned into a handsome prince, and they lived happily ever after. Well, let's just say they sort of lived happily ever after. Okay, so they weren't so happy. In fact, they were miserable. The Frog Prince continued by John Shakespeare and Steve Johnson. Stop sticking your tongue out like that! How come you never want to go to the pond anymore? The prince and the princess were so unhappy they didn't know what to do. I'd prefer if you stopped hopping around on the furniture, and it'd be nice if you got out of the castle once in a while and went and slayed a dragon or a giant or whatever. But the prince didn't feel like slaying anything. He just felt like running away. That's when he got out his book and read the end of his story one more time. They lived happily ever after. So he stayed in the castle and drove the princess crazy until one day she threw a perfectly awful fit. First you keep me awake all night with that horrible croaking snore, then I find a lily pad in your pocket. I can't believe I ever kissed your slimy frog lips. Sometimes I think we'd both be better off if you were still a frog. That's when the idea hit him. Still a frog? Yes! And he ran into the forest, looking for a witch to turn him back into a frog. He didn't go far before he found just what he was looking for. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch. Why, you're not looking for a beautiful princess to kiss now, are you? No. I've already been kissed. I was actually wondering if perhaps you could turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Are you sure you're not looking for a beautiful princess to kiss and wake up? No. I'm the Frog Prince. You don't look like no frog, but a prince is a prince, and I won't have any princes waking up my sleeping beauty. Therefore, I'll have to cast a nasty spell on you. The prince didn't stick around to see what nasty spell the witch had up her sleeve. Instead, he ran deeper into the forest until he came upon another woman of the profession he thought might be able to help him. Miss Witch, excuse me, I'm the Frog Prince. Now I was wondering if perhaps you could help me out and turn me back into a frog. Hey, what did you say? You're a prince? Oh, yes, I'm a prince, but no, I'm not the prince looking for Sleeping Beauty. I'm the Frog Prince. Now I was wondering if perhaps you could turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Well, a prince is a prince, and I won't have any princes rescuing my Snow White. Here, eat this apple. It will help you. Well, the prince knew his fairy tales, and he knew a poisoned apple when he saw one, so he didn't even stick around to say, no, thank you. Instead, he ran deeper into the forest until he came upon a woman standing outside a cottage. Miss Witch, excuse me, I'm the Frog Prince. Now I was wondering if perhaps you could help me out. If you're a frog, I'm the King of France. No, not the frog prince. And I was wondering if you could turn me into a frog so I could live happily ever after. Why, yes, dear. Come right inside. Something about this place seemed awfully familiar. The prince took a step onto the yummy steps and took a bite of the windowsill. Gingerbread. Oh, Miss Witch, you don't mind me asking. asking, but you don't perhaps know some children by the name of, Hansel and Gretel? Why, yes, dear, I'm expecting them for dinner. The prince didn't stick around. In fact, he ran as fast as he could into the forest until he was lost. He finally came upon an old woman sitting on a tree stump. He was hoping she wasn't a witch, because he had had quite his fill of witches. Madame, could you help me? I'm the frog prince, and I'm looking for someone to turn me into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Can you do it? My gosh, sir, you're the worst-looking frog I've ever seen. Not a frog, the frog prince needs somebody to turn me into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Can you do it? Well, I'm supposed to see this woman in the village about the ball, but I suppose I could give it a try. You know, I've never done frogs before. And with that, the fairy godmother waved her wand and turned the prince into a beautiful, handsome carriage. The prince couldn't believe his rotten luck. The night got dark, and the sun went down. The prince was stuck in the forest, and couldn't believe what he was being put through. Oh my goodness, I could be at home with my princess, living happily ever after, but instead I'm stuck here in the stupid forest as a stupid carriage. Far off in the village, the clock struck 12. The prince was turned back into himself, where he ran all the way home up to the castle steps. Where have you been? Look at you! Your clothes are a mess, and your dinner is cold. The prince looked at the princess, the one who had believed in him, the one who had kissed his slimy frog lips, the one who loved him. The prince kissed the princess, they both turned into frogs, and lived happily ever after. The end.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But if only this were true, because words do have a way of hurting. They're often cruel and painful, especially in the case of children. Danny's Little Tin Soldier by Leota Hustle Black. It happened the afternoon that Danny was sent home from school because of a persistent cough. He played with his tin soldiers a while. He sat down on the floor and began to line the blue soldiers up for an attack against the reds. Then voices reached his ears. Aunt Kate and Mama were in the nursery with the new little baby sister. After a while, his own name reached his ears. Hazel, I'm really surprised that you and Howard are so happy over this baby. I'll never forget how you acted about Danny. But Kate, you can't blame us. Danny was a cripple. You and Howard didn't want a baby with a crippled foot. You wanted a perfect child, like this little girl. Danny's little world toppled at Aunt Kate's cruel words. Why, he hadn't thought they even noticed. Mama and Papa didn't want a crippled baby? He whispered over and over, and all the time he was setting the soldiers against the wall. The Red Lieutenant wouldn't stand. Each time he'd set him up, he'd promptly fall over on his little tin nose. Why, Lieutenant, you've got a crippled foot too. That's the reason you can't stand up. Gee, Lieutenant, you ought to be able to stand up really good. Maybe I better put you back in the ranks and put a soldier with good feet in your place. But no, I can't do that. You can't help it that you're a cripple. And you can stay in the front line. You see, both of us being crippled makes us buddies. I wouldn't want your feelings to be hurt. Maybe he wasn't wanted. But what did little boys do when they weren't wanted? He slipped around the house and into the warm basement. Surely there were people that wanted a little boy. And if they wanted him badly enough, maybe they wouldn't mind a crippled foot. But how did one find those people? Then suddenly, an idea was born. He would make a sign and put it down by the gate. From the kindling piles, he selected a stake and a short board, which he clumsily nailed together. Then, on a shelf, he found Papa's clean paintbrushes and a can of yellow paint. But what could he say that would be just right? Finally, he dipped his brush into the paint and carefully printed 1, wanted a home where a boy would be welcome. P.S. Ask for boy inside. Trembling with excitement, Danny hobbled down to the gate and pushed the sign into the wet sod by the bush. At dinner, Danny was so busy with his handkerchief that he forgot to use his napkin, and Mama had to remind him. Then Papa filled his plate too full. The food wouldn't stay on his